President Trump wants to invade Greenland and have it under United States control. Now, this threat of invasion comes shortly after the Trump administration has already invaded Venezuela, captured its sitting president, transferred him to New York City for prosecution, and has talked about running the Venezuelan government and seizing their oil industry. Not too long after that, now Trump is threatening to do the same to Greenland. Trump has already made it clear that he wants Greenland under United States control, and that he said he's willing to do this the easy way or the hard way. Now, what makes Trump's threats to Greenland even worse is that Greenland is actually one of our allies under NATO. And you see, NATO was created after World War II in order to promote peace, and it's an alliance between the United States and other countries in Europe. And if Trump were to invade Greenland, then he'd be undermining that same alliance. In addition, Greenland is part of the Denmark government, and so Trump's threats to invade Greenland would be encroaching on their sovereignty. And for those of you who might think that this is a strategic choice, this is nothing more than President Trump attempting to take over another country just because he thinks it's a good idea. Now, President Trump has tried to justify these threats by claiming that if Russia or China were to seize Greenland first, well, then the United States would not be able to act. In addition to that, this unrealistic scenario in which Russia or China simply take Greenland is misleading. You see, if Russia or China were to attempt to invade Greenland, that would be an act of war, an act of world war in which the countries in the NATO alliance would band up together to defend Greenland. So this idea that we need to protect Greenland doesn't make sense. This idea that the United States needs to protect its own military interests in Greenland doesn't make sense, because the United States military already has bases in Greenland. So even though Trump is justifying this by saying that we're trying to increase our security, increase our defense, what he really seems to be doing is that he's expanding on his imperialism. First it was with Venezuela, now he's going to do it with Greenland. And what makes this operation worse than Venezuela is that Greenland is actually one of our allies, and that NATO is one of our allies. And an invasion on that could absolutely undermine that same alliance. And we don't know what that could do with the United States relationship with other countries in Europe. Many European leaders have already responded saying that they're not open to any kind of negotiation to sell Denmark, and they're also not going to allow Trump to simply invade it or annex it. And so this is going to cause a lot of concern as to what actually happens if the United States does invade it. Not only do I think this invasion of Greenland could destroy the relationship that the United States has with countries in Europe, but I also think that this move won't even benefit us that much, and that we could very well just increase or expand our military operations in Greenland without taking over their sovereignty.